All right, let's dive into a story that really gets to the heart of a huge question. What's the real difference between people who make their dreams happen and those who don't? It's a journey that shows how the absolute smallest actions, done over and over, can completely change a life.
You've probably wondered this yourself, right? Is it just luck, or being born with some crazy talent, or is there something else going on? Well, this story has an answer, and it all begins with a young guy named Arav.
So, meet Arav. He's from this small, quiet town, but his dreams? They were anything but small. I mean, he was picturing himself on big stages, running huge offices, dreaming of being important. Sound a little familiar?
But here's the catch. For all those massive dreams, Arav had a pretty big problem. He was the undisputed king of the snooze button. Every single morning it was the same old story, just 5 more minutes. His dreams were huge, but his actions, well, they were kind of non-existent.
And this is really the core of the problem, not just for Arav, but for a lot of us. It's this giant, frustrating gap between the amazing person we imagine ourselves being and the person we actually are, day in and day out.
And you know what's so interesting is that Arav saw discipline. He saw it in the shopkeepers who opened up every single day, in the teachers who were always prepared. He admired it, he wanted it, but his own life was just a mess of starting and stopping. One day he's studying like a genius, the next he's ditching it all to play cricket. He had all the ambition in the world, but absolutely zero consistency.
But then, something happens. Arav crosses paths with someone who lives by a totally different set of rules, and it kicks off this huge shift in his life. This is where Gopal Kaka comes in. He's a retired army officer, and his life is not flashy at all. Every morning, like clockwork, he's up before the sun, he sweeps his yard, he exercises, he reads. It's simple, it's structured, and honestly, it's powerful. Arav sees this, and he's just mesmerized. He finally asks him, "How do you do it? Every single day?"
And right there, that's it. That's the light bulb moment. Gopal Kaka gives him this piece of wisdom that just flips a switch in Arav's head. Habits are like seeds. Success isn't some lottery ticket you might win. No, it's a garden that you have to tend to, day by day, with these tiny, repeated actions. For Arav, this idea changes absolutely everything.
So with this new idea burning in his mind, Arav makes a decision. He's going to stop dreaming and start doing. It's time to start planting his own seeds, even though he knows it's going to be slow and difficult. And he starts small. I mean, ridiculously small. The very next day, he fights that urge to sleep in and gets up before the sun. He goes for a run, even if it's just a painful 200 meters. He carves out 1 solid hour for studying. No big announcements, no showing off, just quiet, consistent action. He does it when he's tired. He does it when he doesn't feel like it. He just does it.
Now, this is so important to understand. This was not magic. That first day was awful. He was gasping for air, his legs were burning, but after a week, he felt just a tiny bit stronger. And it took months, we're not talking days here, we're talking months, before this new routine stopped feeling like a punishment and started feeling like, well, just a part of him.
So he just keeps going, day after day after day. It's this quiet, unseen work. And then, one day, a huge opportunity shows up. This is the moment where all that grinding, all that daily effort finally gets put to the test.
All of a sudden, this amazing scholarship is announced. It's a life-changing opportunity, but there's a catch. You have to excel at a tough physical fitness test and a really difficult written exam. For most of the other students, this news triggered pure instant panic.
And the difference between Arav and everyone else was like night and day. You had all these other students frantically cramming, pulling all-nighters. Arav, he was calm. They were counting on these last-minute bursts of energy. He was counting on months of steady work. They were sprinting and stumbling. He was just keeping the same steady pace he'd been training at for months. So, what was the result? Arav didn't just pass, he crushed it. He was one of the top performers in both the fitness test and the exam. Every one of those early mornings, every hour he spent studying when nobody was watching, it all paid off, big time. When he goes to share the amazing news with his mentor, Gopal Kaka gives him one last, powerful piece of wisdom. He says, motivation is what gets you started. It's that initial spark. But motivation, it comes and goes, right? It's fickle. Habits are what keep you going on all those days when the motivation is just gone.
Okay, so the main point here is that this isn't just a nice story about Arav. It's basically a blueprint. It's a model for how any of us can start building our own future, one tiny action at a time. So the story leaves us with these super simple places to start. You don't have to change your entire life tomorrow. Just plant one tiny little seed. Go for a 10-minute walk. Read just 5 pages of a book. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. See, the action itself isn't as important as just doing it, consistently.
And that's really the big takeaway from all this. Huge success doesn't come from some grand heroic moment or some sudden leap of faith. It's the quiet result of all the small, boring choices you make every single day.
So the question isn't about what you're going to do tomorrow or next week. It's about right now. What is the one tiny, totally